The Dodgers have yet another pitcher going on the injured list in Gavin Stone. Just a massive turn of events when it comes to the Dodgers season and their pursuit of a World Series championship. Hey, this is Mike Nelson of Dodgers Digest. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I want to thank the almost 13% of you that have already subscribed to the channel, the ones that are watching the videos, but 86% of you have not hit that subscribe button yet. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any big Dodger news like this one. Let's get right into it. Gavin Stone is going to the injured list. This is just a huge deal, to say the least. As we know, the Dodgers' pitching rotation has been in absolute shambles, as I believe DodgerBlue.com titled one of their articles after this latest report. And, now official, that Gavin Stone is going to the injured list. Just some very bad news, to say the least. We don't really know what's going to happen with Gavin Stone, as this article is coming from MLBTradeRumors.com. We don't know the path forward for Gavin Stone. It's pretty unclear. Andrew Friedman has said that, he's going to be shut down for at least 10 days. Basically, no activity is going to be coming out of Gavin Stone. And that, and that's due to inflammation in the right shoulder. That's what's being reported right now. That, of course, Gavin Stone's shoulder is, there's inflammation in that shoulder, and that's the latest report. This is coming from Fabian Ardaya of The Athletic. That's basically what's coming out right now, that he's gonna be shut down for 10 days. There's basically no clear idea what's gonna happen to Gavin Stone. We just know that, of course, that he's on the injured list. And, of course, the Dodgers have called up Wrobleski, and, of course, Knack was going to get called up today anyway, but now Wrobleski has been called up. Justin Wrobleski, of course, had a really tough time, pitching for the big club, and now it looks like he's going to have to pitch again for the Dodgers. And like I wanted to go over here on this next slide, Gavin Stone has been probably the best pitcher for the Dodgers this year, in terms of staying healthy, being consistent. 25 starts this year, a little over 140 innings, 11 wins, leads the team in wins, 3.53 ERA. I mean, it's been a good season, to say the least, for Gavin Stone, the young right-handed pitcher. Now his shoulder is inflamed. There's right shoulder inflammation, and this is just terrible news, to say the least, for the Dodgers, as they are, in pursuit of, clinching a playoff spot, clinching the NL West. That's what's on the table right now for the Dodgers. The Dodgers, of course, are favored to still clinch the division despite this injury, because look at it. Look at the way it's set up right now. I mean, the Dodgers have a pretty solid lead on San Diego with 5 games, and a pretty solid lead on the D-backs with 5.5 games ahead. And, yesterday, the D-backs and the Padres both lost in the 9th inning. Very good for our Dodgers. As we know, the Giants, well, one of the few times we cheered on the Giants to win, but the Giants defeated, of course, the D-backs in the 9th inning, and then, of course, the big comeback win for the Detroit Tigers in a grand slam in the 9th inning. So those were big wins for sure, to help the Dodgers have a little bit more wiggle room in terms of having a divisional lead, with right now having like I mentioned, a 5.5 game lead on the D-backs and a 5 game lead on the Padres. But now this injury is just absolutely devastating, because, you look at the rotation now, and there just isn't a lot there. Like I've been talking about the last few days, there hasn't been a lot there to begin with. And, with Gavin Stone's latest start, I mean, now we kind of get an idea on why Gavin Stone probably pitched poorly against the D-backs last Saturday. Saturday. And that's because Gavin Stone clearly was probably not 100%. Was dealing with injury, dealing with this shoulder inflammation, and it's unfortunate that he has to deal with this, and that's probably why we didn't see the best from Gavin Stone against the D-backs in a pretty massive game last week on Saturday. And now, I mean, boy, just the Dodgers, where do they turn to from here? I mean, that's really the question I think everybody has on their mind now, because you look at you go to the Dodgers, you go on the website to go check out the probable pitchers that they have coming up in the next few starts, and they only have today's starter announced, Landon Knack. There's nothing else on there. It just shows you how right now the Dodgers just don't know where to go next. They're trying to figure out exactly what's going to be the game plan moving forward, especially with this injury to Gavin Stone. And, right now, Jack Flaherty is the pitcher that the Dodgers are going to probably have to count on for the time being to be that one pitcher that could really, get it for sure a W. I mean, that's where the Dodgers are at right now. I mean, they don't know what they're going to get from their starting pitchers. And with Jack Flaherty, you hope that he can, deliver a good performance when he gets a chance to pitch, either this weekend, which is probably going to be, I assume, this weekend, especially with this injury. You're going to have to pitch on Saturday or Sunday, Jack Flaherty. And then, of course, Yamamoto coming back next Tuesday. You're going to have to hope that he does well. But what else is there? I mean, Kershaw's on the injured list. Tyler Glasnow is injured right now, right? There's no clear timeline for his return. And now Gavin Stone is injured as well. I mean, this is just not, boy, if you're a Dodger fan like myself, I am definitely worried on what's going to happen next with this team in terms of being able to stay afloat and, get solid pitching. The Dodgers are not going to be able to score, 6-8 runs every game. They're just not going to be able to. And, like Bobby Miller, as we know with the struggles he's having, let's say he has to pitch again. I mean, are you really confident he can get, 5 solid innings from? That's really when when you start to worry. And yeah, think of the River Ryan injury. That was huge too. What ends of the Dodgers have River Ryan right now? I mean, they would be in a much better position. And this weekend is not going to be easy. They're playing a division-leading Cleveland Guardians team. The Guardians are leading their American League Central Division right now, so they are a playoff team. This is a tough team. And boy, the Dodgers have Landon Knack on the mound. You hope that the young guy can have a good game, but if not, the Dodgers are just going to have to outscore, the Guardians, kind of like how they did against the D-backs last weekend, scoring 32 runs in 4 games. That's what it's probably going to come down to this weekend, and probably against the Cubs too, who, as we know, the Cubs are battling to get into the playoffs. They're not mathematically out of the playoff race in terms of getting to the National League wild card, but it's definitely looking unlikely that's going to happen, especially this weekend. The Cubs already lost today against the Yankees at home at Wrigley, and probably, potentially going to lose Saturday and Sunday as well. And then they got a long flight from Chicago to L.A. Sunday afternoon and have to play Monday night here in L.A. So the Dodgers are going to be favored for sure against the Cubs. So, all these injuries, you got to be worried, but I'm still going to predict that the Dodgers are going to win the National League West despite all this. It is mainly due to the fact because they won 3 out of 4 games against the D-backs, right? I mean, had the Dodgers not defeated the D-backs last weekend like they did, winning 3 out of 4 games, we'd be in a totally different situation right now. And that series alone is probably, the Dodgers have the tiebreaker over the D-backs. That series might decide so much for the rest of the year because the D-backs are just really up against it. They got the Astros this weekend, the Trastros. Yeah, we don't like Houston. Anyway, they got that team. I don't know if I'm going to be able to root for Houston this weekend as a Dodger fan, but I might have to because I want the D-backs to lose. But I will just call them the Houston team. The Houston team is going to be playing the D-backs this weekend. And, yeah, we hope they win because we need the D-backs to keep losing. The Dodgers, of course, keep winning to build on that lead. But that's what you hope for. And, of course, San Diego's got the Giants. So, probably going to get some W's there. So, yeah, you just hope the Dodgers can, just tread water. Got to keep scoring runs. You got to hope Ohtani has a historic end of the year, or things are going to definitely get pretty dicey at the end of the season because the Dodgers are probably not going to have good pitching the next few weeks. Make sure to subscribe for more Dodger news, and let's go Dodgers.